It took me 75 years to realize this crazy detail about Cinderella. At the beginning of the movie, we see a young girl whose wealthy father dies and her stepmother raises her as her own. Most people think her stepmother was cruel and heartless, but after rewatching the movie, it becomes obvious that something much darker was actually going on. From Cinderella's perspective, her stepmother is wicked for making her do household chores, and her sisters are evil for living in the house that's rightfully hers. But this is exactly what you'd expect from an entitled child who was given everything and then suddenly expected to do chores and share. If the stepmother told her side, she'd probably say she was only giving Cinderella reasonable chores to build a healthy work ethic. Cinderella was often locked in her room and forced to clean, which is a pretty typical consequence for rebellious teens. This isn't unreasonable punishment, but it gets worse. She wasn't allowed to go to the ball, which again makes sense if she'd been defiant and unwilling to help. So she most likely stole money to buy a dress and shoes, then snuck out, and suspiciously had to be home by midnight to beat her stepmother. And finally, the prince chooses her over everyone else, which is exactly what you'd expect to hear from a spoiled, narcissistic liar.